So example, when you go shopping, do you prefer to uh, pay for things in cash or by card? I prefer to pay by card is because it's easier. But a lot of places in our country that do not accept card because, like for example, the uh, shops by the street, they do not accept cards, so I have to pay in cash. Do you ever save money to buy special things? Yes, a lot of the times, because if it's very expensive, I have to save a little amount each month till I get to the point where I can finally buy it. Would you ever take a job which had a low pay? It depends on how low the pay is and if the job is satisfying. It has to be at least, the pay has to be at least like bare minimum, so you can manage your expenses. So teaching in our country, it doesn't pay a lot, but I had this teaching job and it was so satisfying, and it was one of the greatest experience I ever had in my life. And if I could do it all over again, I would do it. Would winning a lot of money make a big difference in your life? Yes, I think so, because right now I have to worry about managing my own expenses, and I wish I could. I wish I could do something better with my time instead of chasing money. I have a lot of hobbies. I wish I could spend more time on my hobbies, and if I had money, I wouldn't have to worry about it. And secondly, I would. There are lots of people in our country who need help, and I would like to have the women in our country, because I feel like they do not live a very dignifying life, because they are very abused, and they are disrespected in their household, just because they do not have financial independence. And I think having financial independence would change that a lot. So if I had money, I would try to teach them some kind of skill and give them resource, so they can use the resource to execute their skill. And I would try to teach them money management, so they are financially independent, and so they live a better life. Part 2. Describe an interesting discussion you had as a part of your work or studies. What the subject of discussion was? Well, it was more of a philosophical discussion. Um, who you discussed the subject with? It was I discussed the subject with a friend. What opinion were expressed, and explain why you found the discussion interesting? Well, basically, I was having a problem, and I was trying to discuss it with my friend, and then he said something that we have, like, when there is a problem, there is two circles, like circle of concern and circle of influence. If it's raining, there is the circle of concern, and the circle of influence would be getting an umbrella. So what I tend to do most of the time is that I would focus on circle of concern most of the time. I wouldn't even care about circle of influence and what I can do about it. So it was very edifying when he told me that. And a lot of the times when you know something and you know that, but when someone you admire and trust tells you the very same thing, the reinforcement works in a very effective way. So that's what happened, and I that's why I found the conversation very interesting. Part 3 discussion topic. Why is it good to discuss problems with other people? So, if you have mental health issues and you're battling depression and anxiety, you need therapy and you should go see a psychiatrist. So it is very effective to discuss your problems with a psychiatrist and come up with a solution, because a lot of people are going through the same problem, a lot of people are doing things, so it's very important. Sometimes you just have to get things out of your chest to stay mentally sane. Do you think it is better to talk to friends or not, and not family, about problems? I think it depends on the problem. If it's a problem that only the family can solve, then you should talk to your family, not your friends. And sometimes, if it's a different problem and you think that your friend will understand you better and can come up with a solution, and you can relate, your friend would be able to relate to the problem better, then you should talk to your friend. Is it always good idea to talk to tell a lot of people about a problem? No, I don't think it's a good idea to tell a lot of people about your problem. Oh my god, that noise. Because I think when you are telling someone your problem, you are relieving your problem and you're giving it more energy. So you should only talk to the person who can help you with the problem. Next is, which communication skills are most important when taking part in meetings with colleagues? I think it's very important that you can comprehend what your colleagues are trying to express and you can articulate what you're trying to say in a very effective way. That is the most important part in taking part in meetings. What are possible effects of poor written communication skill at work? Well, sometimes it could be really chaotic. For example, if there is a notice that is supposed to go to a lot of people, and the person who wrote the notice made a mistake, that could, like, it could be a grammatical mistake or it could have a different meaning altogether. So then it would be just awful. Like, you have to retract the notice or give a second notice, and sometimes I think won't be possible to do all that. So it could be like disastrous. What do you think will be the future impact of technology on communication in the workplace? I think we can already see a lot of changes, but in future, I think most of the communication, it could be like we could actually see a future where people don't use offices anymore, like since like in maybe in for a lot of work it won't be possible, but for a lot of places it could be possible that they can operate without an office. So what they would do is, instead of hiring a workplace, they could entirely communicate about projects through internet, and like the whole thing could take place on online, and it could be really it could have some positive impact as well. For example, imagine if someone has all the skill that is necessary to work in a really big company, but they cannot do it because of the geographic location. Like maybe he or she lives in a different country. So if there is no question of workplace, they can work from home. So that person would have that opportunity to work in in a good place, and according like his skills would be valued. So that is a really good impact that could happen in the future. That would be all. Bye bye.